Good morning, I'm Martha Raddatz in Washington, and we are coming on the air because the flag-draped remains of the 13 fallen U.S. service members who were killed on Thursday in Afghanistan have now arrived back in the United States to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. Earlier this morning, President Biden and the First Lady left the White House to meet with the family members and participate in what is known as a dignified transfer movement. The servicemen and women, 11 Marines, 1 Navy corpsman, and 1 U.S. Army soldier were killed when a suicide bomber detonated a suicide vest filled with explosives at the Abbey Gate of the Kabul airport. The U.S. military was there helping facilitate the evacuation of Americans and Afghans out of Kabul in advance of President Biden's August 31st deadline for U.S. troops to leave Afghanistan. President Biden said last night that it was highly likely another attack could take place in the next 24 to 36 hours, and tensions could not be higher as we approach that final withdrawal deadline. This morning, U.S. officials confirm an airstrike was conducted against an ISIS-K planner in a vehicle believed to pose a threat to the airport. This, of course, follows another drone strike on Friday night against an ISIS-K target. We are going to look at that dignified transfer taking place at Dover Air Base right now, where so many have taken place in the years before, but this is President Biden's first as president. You see First Lady Jill Biden there as well, and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin waiting for the remains of those service members to come off of that C-17 aircraft. I want to read the names of those we have lost in Kabul, Afghanistan this week. The majority of them under 20, only one 31 years old, and that is Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Darren Taylor Hoover from Salt Lake City, Utah. At 31, he was the oldest of the fallen, his father calling him one heck of a leader, saying his son decided he wanted to join the military at a young age, a very young age, after 9/11. Marine Corps Sergeant Johanny Rosario Ricardo, 25 years old, from Lawrence, Massachusetts. The state's governor calling her a Massachusetts hero gone too soon. Rosario, originally from the Dominican Republic, the country's ambassador to the U.S., saying the Dominican community shares in the loss. She was one of 2 women killed in that suicide bombing. The other, Marine Sergeant Nicole G., 23 years old, from Sacramento, California. She was married to a fellow Marine. Days before her death, she was featured in a photo released by the Defense Department cradling an Afghan baby at the Kabul airport. A friend posting on Facebook that she was a light in this dark world. And we have lost Marine Corps Corporal Hunter Lopez, 22 years old, from Indio, California, the son of 2 local Sheriff's Department employees. The Sheriff's Association says he was planning to join the same department when he returned from deployment. And Marine Corps Corporal Deegan William Tyler Page, 23 years old, from Omaha, Nebraska. His family saying he had a tough outer shell and a giant heart. The family says he planned to go to trade school and possibly become an electrical lineman after his enlistment ended. And Marine Corps Lance Corporal David Espinoza from Laredo, Texas, also just 20 years old. He enlisted in the Marines after graduating from high school. His mother saying it was his calling and he died a hero. Marine Corps Corporal Humberto Sanchez, 22 years old, from Logansport, Indiana. He was among 17 members of his high school class who joined the military after graduation. His former principal remembering him as a popular and athletic young man who was honored to be serving his country. And Marine Lance Corporal Jared Smith from St. Charles, Missouri, was 20 years old. His father says this was something he always wanted to do, and he'd never seen a Marine Lance Corporal. Dylan Marola was on his first overseas deployment. A friend posting on a GoFundMe page that the 20-year-old from Rancho Cucamonga, California, always showed up with a smile and brought energy to everyone he was with. And Marine Lance Corporal Riley McCollum of Jackson, Wyoming, was just weeks away from becoming a father. The 20-year-old married in February on Valentine's Day. He was expecting his first child in just weeks. His sister said he joined the Marines on the day he turned 18. And Marine Lance Corporal Dylan Marola was on his first overseas deployment, a friend posting on a GoFundMe page. We just spoke of him, that he always showed up with a smile and brought energy to everyone he was with. And Marine Lance Corporal Kareem Nikowi was just 20 and from Norco, California. His father said he loved what he was doing. He always wanted to be a Marine and had no hesitation for him to be called to duty. He planned to make the Marines his career. And Navy Hospital Corpsman Naxton Soviak from Berlin Heights, Ohio, was 22. His father told a reporter that in their last FaceTime with their son, when his mother told him to be safe, he said, "Don't worry, Mom. My guys got me. They won't let anything happen to me." Today she realized they all just went together. And Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Noss, the 23-year-old, was from Corrytown, Tennessee, joined the Army right out of high school. This was his second deployment to Afghanistan, his grandfather calling him a motivated young man who loved his country. As we watch those remains, as we watch the solemn men and women there watching that, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin again, First Lady Jill Biden, and you saw the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, who has been to so many of these. Watching with me now is our Chief Foreign Correspondent, Ian Pannell in Doha, our Chief Washington Correspondent, Jonathan Carl, former Army Ranger Jericho Denman, who has just arrived back in the U.S. from Kabul, where he was helping with the evacuation efforts at the airport.